Hi, welcome to GRDC World Sprint Championship Round 5 Stewarding. We're going to look at the lap 1 instance first, and then we've got a few reported ones to look at as well. So let's get started. Right, so the first instance I've got is mostly involving Dan, so he's probably going to keep
Yeah,
fairly quiet.
yeah,
But there's a bit of door rubbing. Nothing major, I don't think. So I'm watching it from Frank's perspective here. So coming into the first chicane. So Dan's free wide, stuck in the middle. There's a bit of contact there with Alistair. And I'll move forward a bit actually. Get a better view so we can see that. So very slight contact. There's nothing in that.
yeah,
And Dan's still free wide. Very slight contact again. It's better if you watch it from gone the wrong way. I watch it from Ian's point of view because he's got a good view of that.
yeah,
I mean, they've done pretty well, really, I think, to get through there
yeah,
and too wide. And I think Dan also gets clipped very slightly. I think that's. We'll see who that is in a second. It's Jordan B. No, it's this car here. Which one
yeah.
is that?
That's Jordan.
It is Jordan, yeah. I was a bit confused
Yeah,
with the view. So there's a slight bit of contact with Dan on the exit. To be honest, and I think Frank is here behind as well. It's all a concertina effect really of the front.
yeah,
Do we think anyone's? It's really hard to punish. I think you've all done really well actually to get through it.
yeah.
Um, I don't think it would be fair to give anyone 20 seconds for a bit
No,
of door rubbing.
it was a good race start. Everyone was trying to leave as much room as they could. You know, a bit of rubbing is inevitable at Monza.
It is, but technically all collisions are avoidable. But
Yeah, yeah,
so that would be an NFA for that first one. The next one I just saw up ahead is between I think it's Jordan and Dan coming up here. I just want to look at that. I think that's probably is it Ian actually in the yellow
it
car?
is.
Ian,
Yeah,
yeah, sorry, it's Ian. So this will be 2:54, I think, is the time we've got. So again, Dan's involved in this one. It looks like you've got loads of damage from tiny
I
little
did have.
bumps.
Yeah, considering they were just touches, it actually gave me quite a lot of damage to the back end. It was weird.
So it's just up here.
Oh,
See, from there it looks like Dan turned in, but from
it felt like I
behind,
did.
behind it looks like I'm hoping there's a car closer than that, but there isn't. I mean, I suspect the slight touch there, because at this point Ian's sort of heading out here. It's difficult to say if the yeah. So I think Dan's slightly touched Ian's rear wheel
Yeah,
here, and it's
uh,
sort of caused him to go slightly left, which has
yeah,
sort of exacerbated it. But again, there's not really anything in it. I, Again, it's barely rubbing at all, really. So
yeah.
that's going to be an NFA.
ACC, we would have both died.
Yeah, one of you would have definitely died.
Yeah,
So the next one we're looking at is Frank and Dan and Jordan again. I think that's
yeah,
307. So
yeah.
just up the
Second
road.
chicane, is it?
Let's have a look. not seeing it there. Maybe I've put the numbers down wrong. Just to make it clear, we didn't have the collisions report, which we sometimes get for this one.
I think
So
this is typed out as if it was the first one, like the first chicane, so it's like they're in there twice.
yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm happy. So we go on to the next one then, which is 323.
Jordan and Reader.
It's almost as if it's showing me the wrong times. Let's look at. There's definitely some contact.
Ah,
There it is.
something happened there.
There it is. So I looked at this one. So this is where Jordan obviously came off very badly in this. What?
Yeah,
So if you watch it from here at full speed, it looks like Jordan's trying to cover the line on the right,
yeah. The
and
back end stepped
Red
out.
has just caught his back end.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if it's stepped out or if that's because of a collision. It's difficult to say. If I pause it there and then try and where are we? So I don't think there was a collision at that point. The collision
no,
occurs there.
yeah,
So he's already going off towards the barrier at that point.
yeah,
If we look at it from Jordan's point
yeah,
of view, I just want to see the steering input.
yeah. He's trying to correct it.
Yeah, he's steering in the opposite
Oh,
direction. So I think he's
so
just lost the
unlucky.
back end.
Yeah,
So for me, that's a racing incident
yeah,
because there's literally nothing Reader could do behind.
yeah,
It's just unfortunate timing. And
yeah,
Jordan's paid the big price for that. He's completely lost his wing.
yeah. Looks like a road car now.
Yeah, right. Right, so I think we're mostly on to the hypercars at the moment.
Yeah,
What time are we looking at?
242.
Right, that was lucky, wasn't it?
Nice.
So again, we're into the first corner here. We've got there's a lot going on here. That's from Cookie's point of view.
Yeah, that's nothing that did well.
This is from Max's point of view. And it's so hard to get through here unscathed. I thought. Let's have a look at the Alpine. This is Remy. So they're three wide at that point. Still three wide. Remy's taken loads of curb. They've done really well actually.
Yeah, that's a good start. That.
Yeah. So I'm happy there's nothing to see there. So that's going to
Yep.
be NFA. What was the next one? It's just up ahead, I think. Because
It's you've got it down as most hypercars at T1. It's
yeah,
the it's
it's
the
all
bowling
this,
ball Ferrari.
all this. Yeah, basically. I don't think there's one Ferrari that goes off. We're going to look at that in a second.
Yeah, and then
I'm
there was a rejoin
a
that was
rejoin,
there was a
unsafe
very
rejoin.
very iffy one.
So the most hypercars at T1 is going to be NFA because even if we look where they came, I remember looking earlier. So if we look at the cars that go off, I think was it Mika? Let's go back a bit further. Max. There's Mika. Mika's one of the ones I think that ends up decides to go straight on. I'm not sure why you decided to go straight
Did
on
he
there.
just get hit by the by something behind?
Not at this point.
Oh right.
So
Oh
for some
yeah,
reason,
he just bailed out.
yeah, I think you just bailed out. I mean, the game will apply its own penalty for that and time
Yeah,
penalty, won't it? Anyway,
yeah.
so
It's quite strict when you have to go down this road.
I think that's all right. There was very slight contact. So what happened was, I go back. This car here, Gianluca, got slightly on the grass. He did really well to control it under braking from there.
Yeah,
So there's a very slight contact here, which we've already looked at,
yeah.
and he makes it nicely through the corner. And I think that may have had an effect on. I'm trying to find them. They'll be off track. I'm trying to find Mika again. Here we go. So Marvin there. Let's have a look where Marvin comes from. What happens
I know
here?
I shouldn't laugh, but it just
So we
kind
have
of
three
tickles me.
wide, but
Yeah.
you're going to put it four wide. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
Obviously, you
once
can't
you
brake
touch
on the
that
grass.
grass.
You're very
Yeah.
lucky, very, very lucky to get away with that
Yeah.
and not cause massive carnage.
Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to avoid. I think if he hadn't have done that, he would have hit the car in front. So it was, I
Yeah,
mean, really, it was good avoidance, really.
yeah. Your rejoin was safe and fine. I've not got a
Yeah.
problem with that. But what I've got a slight issue with is Mika's rejoin, and I'll show you exactly why. So Mika's decided to bail out here, which is fine. You've attempted to go round here, which is probably wise, but you're there straight out into the racing line, and this is an issue because
Far
the
behind.
car behind Philip has had to react to that. So if you watch here, he's had to brake. So you've gone straight out in front of him, he's had to apply the brakes and lost all his momentum and lost another place. So it is an unsafe rejoin, so that's going to be it's a 10-second penalty plus a
Yeah.
license point, but it's doubled because it's the first lap. That's for Mika for an unsafe rejoin. And then a little
Yeah.
bit further on, I don't know whether this is punishable or not, but it's between these two cars here. I think it's Nathan is in the yellow car and Mika up ahead. So it looks like Mika is trying to cover the inside and leaves it a little bit late. So it's just a lack of awareness because you've had an unsafe rejoin. You really ought to be sticking to your line here and not trying to move across. Fortunately, in this case, it didn't cause any problems. I want to see if Nathan had to brake because of it. I'm unclear whether there was actually contact. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Nathan's had to react to that movement there. Now that could have been a mistake. This doesn't look obviously deliberate to me because it looks like you tried to go left as quickly as possible. But again, I'm tempted to add it to part of the previous one, which is a rejoin. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be harsh to add a penalty on top of it, but just to make him aware that he needs to be more aware of the distance between the cars around him, because that very nearly was an incident.
Yeah, it was.
Luckily, Nathan reacted quick enough. And
Yeah,
to be fair to Patouche, he did move left out the way quick when he realised.
Yeah.
that it could have been an incident. So yeah, just
But
be careful.
yeah, but to demonstrate how much advantage you've got from that, look how far ahead Mika is
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
and Nathan's clearly lost out quite a lot from that.
yeah.
Anyway, okay. So let me pause it. Right, the next one we've got is Dan Wilson, 307. So let's find Dan. It should be just coming up around here somewhere. Okay, that's it, isn't it?
Oh right, yeah,
It's just that slight touch there.
yeah.
That's fine.
He's a little bit squiggly.
Yeah, but I mean, he is trying to keep as tight as possible to
Yeah,
leave the room, I think.
yeah,
And I think Philip's also aware he's there because he's not just turned in.
yeah,
I think that tap caused Philip to go further right than he probably intended.
yeah,
Just there. It's not going to help you go keep wide, is it, when someone hits your rear at that point
yeah.
in the corner? So that'll be NFA. No further
Yep.
action. When was the next one?
Next one is Cookie and Max at 306. I remember looking at this one after the race.
So this is worth watching for a while. We'll see if anyone's close behind so we can get a better view of it. Let's watch it from Remy's point of view.
Yeah,
So we're
what
looking
went
at,
on for a couple of corners, didn't it?
yeah, so there's a bit of contact there, and then a bit more contact there, and then a bit more contact. I mean, it's hard racing. Ultimately, that's probably come off worse. The Ferrari. Or is it a Ferrari?
Um, it's not a Ferrari. I'm actually not 100% sure what it is.
Anyway,
Caddy,
Max
maybe?
Max has come off worse.
Yeah,
So we'll watch it again. I mean, I sort of could apportion. My instinct here is that both of them could have given a bit more room.
yeah. I think Max has gone in there a little bit aggressive. Um,
I also
Cookie,
think that Cookie might
Cookies.
might have he's basically held his line and tried to keep it tight, which probably hasn't
Yeah,
helped out Max
yeah,
because there's a movement to the left there.
yeah,
Sorry, to the right.
yeah. I know what you mean.
But ultimately, I mean, Max has gone off on his own.
Yeah,
Cookie's not had any.
I mean, Max tried to turn into Cookie a bit to try and nudge him out a bit just before the corner, but ultimately it only affected him.
Yeah.
It just pointed him straight at the dirt.
So I think what I'd like to say is that it probably worth a warning just to not try and not react to things.
Yeah,
I mean, you do react because you're racing. You've got to react to things, otherwise you wouldn't be racing, would you? But
yeah,
when the reaction, I mean, even these minor contacts, there shouldn't be minor contacts even, because it could have ended worse.
yeah,
It could have escalated. So
yeah,
it's just a warning to try
yeah,
and be a bit more respectful when you're alongside. Inevitably, there will be some contact occasionally, a bit of door rubbing, but I don't want to discourage racing. Equally, it's that move there,
yeah. The
because
like the move to the left.
Cookie could have kept it straight there.
Yeah,
Max did well actually to because it looks like they both went the same way at exactly the
yeah,
same
they
time.
did. Like Torval and Dean.
Yeah, All right, so that's my decision.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, the next one I think is back to the beginning in a GT, if I remember rightly from the sheet.
Let me just.
So this is the last of the lap one instance, I think, that I noticed, and it was between Timmy and
And
Robert
Matteo.
and Matteo, and it was into turn one. Don't really see anything there. Oh, that's it. So
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
let's watch it back. There's not a lot in it really.
No.
I think you.
Again, it
I
was
think
a
Rob was
good
quite
start.
surprised by how slow the hypercar was
Yeah. Yeah.
out of that corner, but the hypercar couldn't really go anywhere.
No.
So just tagged the back. I think that's NFA for me.
Yeah.
Not really
Agreed.
anything to see there.
No.
Okay, I'll pause it then. Right, so now we're into a reported instance. This was reported by Dan, I think, and is it
Yeah.
Evangelos?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
between Dan Wilson and Evangelos Cortis. I'm
at
sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong.
4 minutes.
44 minutes 32.
Oh, it's quite near the end then.
Yeah, lap 21. Oh, you're on lap 24, so that doesn't line up.
We'll have a look behind. I'm trying to find the other driver. So then going through Ascari. Ascari's the one at the end, isn't it? Is this Ascari?
I think so.
I thought so as well. So let's try going back a lap. Right, I'm going to pause it so we can find it.
Yeah.
Okay, back again. We've found the instant. It was just coming up here. So yeah, that's a tricky one because I can't tell, but is the two GT3 cars are racing here. I think they're
Yeah,
racing. There's no blue
I think
flags.
so. Yeah, I can't see any blues.
So Jordan's putting a fairly late move on here. Was it a blue? Was that a blue flag? But the blue could be for the hypercar behind though, couldn't it?
It probably is for the hypercar, actually. Yeah. So,
So
so Mr. Coates had to back out rather than try and go too wide through it.
yeah, Evangelos has he's got to give way there. He's got no choice. And at that point, if we
Yeah,
go back to the hypercar's already committed right
yeah,
behind him at this point.
yeah.
So I can't. I don't think you can apply a penalty for that.
No,
If anything, Dan's gone into the back
yeah,
of the
because you can
GT3.
see this is where the patience comes in. You can see the two cars in front are battling about to enter a corner, and you can't just go in like there's no car in front of you. You've,
And
you know,
you're offline as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're on a very wide line. Yeah.
You've got to properly watch what's going on in front and not be aggressive.
So do we punish the hypercar, which ironically is the one that reported it.
I mean, it is avoidable contact.
Yeah, it's definitely avoidable contact.
Yeah. He's not reading what the cars in front are doing. At that point, when they're side by side, in theory, if they'd have stayed side by side, you wouldn't have found a gap. You'd have had to wait until
No.
the exit.
And how much damage, you got more experience, do you think that would have caused? If
Quite a bit,
we
because
watch it in we watch it in real time.
yeah. And can we go on board to see what see what it looked like from inside?
Yep.
It's the one on
Is that the
yeah,
best
there we
view?
go. Yeah, perfect.
Wish I could steer that fast.
Yeah, that's
Um,
is he on a controller? Looking at those steering inputs, they're like controller inputs, like maximum or nothing kind of thing.
but yeah, it is. I mean, it could be the replay, but it's very fast reactions.
Yeah, just looks
Right.
like a controller sort of input.
I'm
Um,
happy the GT car hasn't done anything wrong
yeah,
because there's
definitely.
literally nothing he can do, and he backs off when he's hit because he he probably wasn't expecting it at that
Yeah,
point.
that it was fairly
At that,
strong the hit.
yeah, I'm just wondering from this point of view. So he's got to back off because the other GT is going on the inside, and he's on the throttle here.
Yeah,
At no point was he braking again.
no.
So the remaining question is: do we penalise Dan for an avoidable contact?
I think for consistency, you know, it's avoidable contact that was quite heavy, and it needs to just be more patient.
Yeah, so I'll agree with that. So that will be a 10-second penalty on one licence point.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's not on the first lap, so it doesn't get doubled. Right, so the next incident we've got is Mika and
Alessandro.
Gianluca.
Alessandro Grossi.
Sorry, Alexandro Grossi.
Or Alessandro, sorry. I'm not very good at pronouncing names.
Is it? It's. I thought it's Gian Belushi in front and Mika Pastouche. So
Sorry,
we're looking at
ignore me.
line. Yeah, okay. It's line
I was looking at
six.
the I was looking at the next one.
Line six. Anyway,
Yeah, okay.
so Mika has a good run here. It's nicely in the toe. He's going to make a move. He's got the momentum to do it. So Gianluca
Yeah,
defends and then just
and
drifts
squeezes
back
in.
into the racing line, in my opinion,
Yeah,
which isn't
yeah, it
a
was
fair
very
move.
lucky. That could have been a very, very big crash.
I mean, the line is here. You can
Yeah,
see how far he's moved back off the line. It would have been fine if you'd have straightened up if you straightened up about there,
yeah,
back
you'd have been
straight,
fine.
you'd have been fine. But you've just kept coming across and caused contact, which is avoidable contact,
Yeah,
and nearly pushed Mika onto the grass. You've maintained the position as well, so you've gained an arguable advantage. So that's fairly clear cut. Going to be a 10-second penalty.
yeah,
Is there anything else we
agreed.
need to look at? We'll watch it from on board here, I
Yeah,
guess. Um, so I'm looking in the mirrors. You pull over. I mean, you're aiming. If I go back to the point, you're heading over here.
yeah.
The only thing I'd say is the mirrors are set with the wrong field of view. Okay, so the next one we've got to look at was reported by Mika, I think. Alexandro Grossi brakes too late for T1, and so this isn't T1. 340, so we've got a bit of a way to go to get to T1.
Oh, it's 34:40.
Ah, okay, yeah, my fault.
So it's probably already happened.
Yeah, this looks like it.
Yeah.
Let's change back to this view. I just want to see. So it looks like it was reported by Mika here. But I'm not seeing any obvious
Maybe watch
contact.
see if anything happens further up. Oh, oh, no, that was lucky. Maybe it's the second chicane.
Again, I mean, we've watched around it. If we watch Alexandro, we are looking at the right cars.
Yeah. And at the right time, it's lap 20, it says, and we're on lap 20.
And it does say T1, which is
Yeah.
here. Sparks are cool, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, so he goes late, makes a mistake, doesn't cause any
He even backs
contact.
off there, I think, a little
Yeah.
bit.
It,
I can't see anything there to judge on.
can we watch the whole lap
Yeah,
from here? Just from here, just to
we'll
the end
watch
of the
it
lap.
fast.
I'm just curious if
I think we
it's
might.
another corner. Maybe it's this lap because they're all together here. Nope.
Again, I don't think I saw anything.
No, no, there's no contact.
We'll keep watching, but
Yeah. While these three are still together, it could still be yet to happen. Oh,
oh,
okay. I think we found it.
that's really odd because it's past the corner. So the two cars. So you've got it's Alexandro and Mika ahead. So both have gone like trying to outbrake each other. So they've both gone wide,
Yeah.
and then Nathan's. Why have they just stopped?
Um,
I know what's happened. So
it's
they've gotten off track, and they're
it's told them to
trying.
give the place back, I think.
Yeah.
Because I've had that happen before. If you're taken off track and the game thinks you've gained a position, it tells you to return it.
So you basically just stopped in front of Nathan. I mean, Nathan's not at fault there. There's not a lot he could do.
No, he would have expected them to be accelerating.
Yeah, I mean, from
Did they actually
Nathan.
brake? Did the Ferrari brake? Because
Oh,
it looked like, yeah, yeah, there was a brake input.
yeah, you broke on the racing line with a car right behind you,
Yeah,
which is a problem because you've caused Nathan loads of damage, and also
yeah,
the other car, Alexandro's, got damage because Nathan's bounced off you.
yeah.
Just wondering if Nathan holds his brakes. Well, there's not a lot we can do. He's been pinballed
No,
over that way, really.
yeah, and he's still facing straight ahead, really. So
I mean,
yeah, it's unfortunate for Nathan and Grossi.
yeah, it's unlucky. Um, yeah, I think that's. I'm wondering if Alexandro also tried to slow down, but the thing is, Alessandro's off the racing line, so it's a
Yeah,
bit different. So he's come on the track and kept left, which
yeah,
is the right thing to do.
yeah,
Whereas I want to watch Mika again as rejoined straight across onto the racing line. I mean, you could argue that he's going around the other car, but yeah. I mean, if you want to back off, you needed to move up. It's a tricky one, but I do think Mika's responsible for causing that incident.
yeah,
So
yeah. You don't just brake there when everyone
no,
else is
it,
accelerating.
I don't have any other choice really, but to give you 10 seconds and
Yeah,
a license point. Yeah. So the next one was reported by Mika, and we have already looked at this. Maybe not from this perspective with the description that Mika gave. So basically, Mika is saying that Lucas used him as a break into T1 and caused him to have to take evasive action. So the contact was was there. It was really minor, and
yeah,
I don't think Lucas, he has broke a little bit late, but it's barely any contact at all. It's caused Mika to maybe go a little bit quicker than he has, but
yeah,
at this point, if you watch Mika, he's going straight. He's fully in control of the car here. He starts
yeah,
turning in, but at this point he decides, oh, I'm not going to keep turning. I'm just going to go left. He's in full control at that point. So
yeah.
if
Can we
anything,
go on? Can we go on board with Mika just
it,
to see if he was going to make the corner?
right. So that's the contact just there. It's
Yeah,
barely anything really.
yeah,
He's braking, which is normal. Changing down a gear. Just turning there. I mean, I can see the wheels aren't spinning, they're not locking or anything at that point.
yeah. Can
So
we see the cockpit view just to see the steering input?
I'd have to move it down. I don't think I have another view, do I? Oh, we can watch it
Uh,
from there, but we won't see.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wasn't going to make that without possibly, getting in the way of the other cars. So to bail out was probably the right thing.
Yeah, receive a rejoin. He got.
And then there was that.
I f- the thing is, I find it hard to justify giving a penalty
Yeah,
for that contact because
yeah.
it it's so minor. It was this car, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't using him as a brake. It was just a small touch.
I mean, the other Ferrari was fine.
Yeah.
I've yeah, I can't justify a 20-second penalty.
No, that would be harsh.
Um,
It was a fairly innocent tap.
yeah. So
And ultimately, you know, there was no real damage.
no, it could be a warning to brake earlier, but again, it's so marginal.
Yeah.
What could Gianluca have done differently? Braked earlier.
Tiny bit, yeah, like, half a car length earlier, probably wouldn't have been contact.
So I think this
Is
is
it worth a warning?
I think it's I do think it's worth a warning, but only
Yeah,
because you got no one behind you. You've got space. You, I mean, you are on the brakes at the point I think you'd be on the brakes, but you've always got to brake a little bit earlier when you're, especially on the first
yeah,
turn, because of that
yeah,
concertina effect. But I mean, you're talking millimeters of mistake. I don't think it's fair to
yeah,
penalise you for 20 seconds, so it's just going to be a warning.
yeah.
Okay, is there one more to look at?
Yep,
Lap 8.
yep. So the warning was for Bellucci.
Lap 8,
So
14 minutes.
is a warning a license point? I can't remember.
No, no.
No.
So if you get accrue two warnings, you'll get a single license point.
Yeah,
That's how it works. So it's designed to promote like better driving over multiple races. So you
yeah,
might only get a couple of warnings in a whole season, which means you'd only get one license point. So
yeah. Right.
I've,
This
I've
one,
yeah, go on.
I don't know if you know what's coming. It's the one where the hypercar went in front of Alistair and slammed on, and they had that massive crash. At least I think it's that. It's 14 minutes in, lap 8, second chicane. Alistair gets up there inside. The doors open. That one gets past okay, and then it's this one.
Right, this is gonna take a while to. Alistair lost his wing there.
Yeah, yeah, he got massive damage.
So the first thing I'll say, Alistair's not done anything wrong.
No.
There's nothing he could do there. He's just been caught up in and collected the hypercar. So let's watch
Yeah.
it from the BMW. It's Jordan. He's tried to wait, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, bless him.
Yeah. So I think there was some movement from Jordan in reaction to the hypercar, but whether it
Yeah,
was necessary or not is what we're probably going to end up debating. So let's watch it from the hypercar's point of view. So it's not Jordan's collision with the hypercar, is it, that causes it? The hypercar. It's that collision there.
yeah. So Jordan touches the hypercar. Is
Let's have a look.
um, yeah, I think he just touches him slightly, which causes him to his car to be unsettled. I don't think Jordan could have done anything. There was, if a car throws it in front of you and brakes hard. This is, this is what can happen. And yeah, unfortunately, Alistair, totally innocent,
Yeah,
got massive damage.
so there's probably some collision there with Jordan. So let's watch it. So we're happy Alistair's completely innocent in this,
Yeah, definitely.
unless he didn't hold the brakes. But
I think he did. I saw some brake input while he was sliding.
let's just double check that. Yeah, he's pretty much full on the brakes. I think could be. Slightly off the brakes there, but I mean you are just a passenger at that point, not
Yeah,
going particularly quick either.
yeah,
Um, let's watch it from the hypercar next. Is it this one? It's a long way back, aren't they?
it is. Yeah,
There you can see the contact there from
yeah,
Jordan. I think the move across is quite late
yeah. I mean,
into the
it's in
braking zone.
it's in the braking zone. It's moving. He's moved under under braking.
So the braking zone is normally this orange bit here.
The path. Yeah. So he's braking now, moving over while he's braking. Bang.
Yeah, I mean, the fact if it had occurred before then, I think Jordan would have been responsible.
Yeah,
But because it's occurred in the braking zone, there's there's not a lot Jordan can do other than brake harder, and
yeah.
it's not going to do anything at that
And
point.
Jordan was on full brakes.
Yeah,
He literally he was full on his brakes, and I don't think Jordan could have avoided that.
no, I think it's effectively moving under braking, isn't it,
Yeah,
and causing a collision.
yeah,
So I say I think if it had have occurred further back here before the braking zone, it's that there's quite a sharp move to the right here.
yeah. There
'Cause
is.
you could have kept going straight. I appreciate you probably think you're completely past, but the problem is you've got two cars behind you that have to brake
Yeah,
for the corner as well. So it's just that I don't think it wasn't deliberate or anything.
yeah,
Um, but I do think the hypercar's responsible.
yeah. Same.
So that's going to be a 10-second penalty, I think, for Alessandro. I don't think there's not many other ways we can look at it.
No.
So obviously if you cut in front of another car in the braking zone, they might not brake as hard as you want them to. I don't know. I've not done a comparison between, because I don't really do a lot of LMU, but I'm assuming the hypercars brake harder than the
Yeah, so
GT3s.
so basically the braking points are pretty much the same, but because the hypercars are going faster
Faster,
into every
yeah.
braking zone, they
Yeah.
are effectively better at braking.
Yeah, makes sense. Alright, so I think that's it for this week. Um,
Yep, that's everything.
yeah, keep it clean next week. And it's been a long one, so apologies. 50 minutes we've been going. Anyway,
Wow.
we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Yep,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.